Hey guys, it's Renee. Today I want to show you how to create an automated email sequence with MailerLite. So the first thing I did was to write all of my emails in a Google Doc. I have a subject for each email, a personalized intro, the body, text, and a conclusion. So you can see as I just scroll through here that I have several emails, and my last email has a call to action to schedule a call with me. So I want to log into MailerLite and look under subscribers. And the first thing I need to do is to add a group. So I'm going to add a group for my call to action email sequence. So I'm going to create that. Okay, the next thing I want to do is go to automation. And I want to do a new workflow. So I'm going to name this workflow call to action email sequence, and I want to trigger that when the subscriber joins the group. And the group that I want is that new group that I created, the CTA email sequence. This option, repeat workflow, for subscribers who rejoin the same group. If you want to, I generally wouldn't check this just because if they've opted out and they re-opt in later, there's a reason they opted out to begin with, and they probably aren't going to be the best candidates for me to interact with. So I'm not going to check that. So let's click save. So I can see when a subscriber joins the group and this group, I want to, and these are the options I have, email, delay, condition, or action. So I want to send them an email. Okay, so the subject I have over here is the first subject. It is from me. I'm going to take off the LLC there. I'm going to design my email. And I want to use the rich text editor. So I can use the drag and drop if I want to add photos and buttons and things like that. But I want these emails to be a little bit more personal, to look like I have written them just for the person who's getting the email. So I'm going to use the rich text editor. So I'm going to copy the content here for my first email and paste that there. Now with Google Docs, I might have to do a little bit of formatting to get rid of these extra spaces. And with this, I can do Shift-Enter to kind of keep these together. Options I have, I can change the font, change the size, and change the link color. I'm going to keep everything the same, except I want this to be a little bit bigger. I don't like when the emails are really tiny, so I'm going to bump that font size up to 15. Okay, and then I will click Done Editing. Just a quick note, I did add this personalization before I came over to MailerLite, so that is the tag for name. So I'm already using it there. So I can click Done Editing. And I have my first email set up. Now I don't want to send the next email right away. I don't want them to get an email and then an email and then an email. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a delay. So I'm going to set the delay at 1 day, but you could do 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, a week, however long you want to wait. And then I'm going to go to email 2. Okay, so I'll go over here and get the subject. It's from me. I'm going to design my email. And the rich text editor again. Taking out those extra spaces, putting those together, and changing the font size to 15. Okay, so I'll click Done Editing. And I'm going to add another delay. So now I am on the last email. And just adding this in the same way, subject, designing the email, using the rich text editor, adding my content, and changing the font size. And what I want to do at the very end is I want to do an action where I add them to another group. And that group is my main newsletter group. Now you'll see I have 0 subscribers. I currently use MailChimp and I'm in the process of migrating over to MailerLite. So this would be my main group, my main newsletter that I email out, a monthly email of my blog post and just some other kind of personal thoughts related to WordPress and freelancing and things like that. So at the end of the sequence, I'm going to add them to my regular group. And I don't want to do that at the beginning because I don't want them getting a newsletter from me right in the middle of the sequence. So I want the sequence to go through, totally finish with the sequence, add them to my main group, and then they will be getting my regular newsletters. So I'm going to turn this on at the top, and now it is ready to go. Okay, so I will go back here, and this is my automation list as such. Now, I have to make some changes to my WordPress site so that I can allow people to sign up for this email sequence. There's a few ways that you can add your form to your site. In MailerLite, there's an option at the top for forms, and you can create a pop-up, a landing page, or an embedded form. So we're going to do a new embedded form. I'm naming this the same so that I can keep everything straight. It wants me to choose the list or group that I am working with, and that's the same CTA email sequence. And then I have some options here. So I can change the form title and the input and all that kind of stuff there. So let's see. So I don't want this to be newsletter. I want this to be learn more about your site. So I could tweak this a little bit so that the appropriate title and text and things like that is there. I also want to add the first name. So to add the first name field, we would want to click here and on this little button, and we want to add a new field for name, and that field is required. We can also reorder these so that name is first. It just seems to make a little more sense. And we want to collect name because remember in our emails, we did customize the personalization at the top. So if we don't collect name, it's just going to say hi and then a weird space there. So we can make changes to the form, title, text, input, buttons, colors, and all that kind of stuff, and also then the success message. So we can make any changes that we want there and go to the next step. Here we're going to grab the code, the HTML code, like such. And I have a site here, just a development site, and I'm going to add this to the footer widget. So I can add text here. And on the text tab, And I can paste this here. So let's just see how it looks. Right here. So here's our sign up, this is our title, and the form that we have designed. Now there's another way to add a form. If you search for the official MailerLite sign up forms plugin, you can install and activate that, and you'll have to go to the settings so that you can configure your API code. So it's not complicated. It'll walk you through the link of where you need to go and what you need to generate. But once you have it connected, and basically what that's doing is that it is saying that your WordPress site and your MailerLite account can talk to each other. So once those are connected, you can go to sign up forms and add a sign up form, and you can do a custom form. So we'll create that. And we want to choose the group, so we're going to say this is a CTA. And choose the group that we want, and we want to create the form. And you can change these form descriptions, the form title. You would go through subscribe, please wait, all of these sort of things here. So we'll save. And the fields that we want, we're going to collect email and name. Okay, and we'll save that too. So if we go back to our widgets, well, actually, I'm not sure if you saw that, but there was a short code there. We can paste that short code anywhere on our site. So if we want to use it within a blog post, or if we want to put it on a certain page or something like that, we can copy the short code and paste it there. Another thing that we can do is add it into a sidebar or a footer if we look for widgets. And there is a widget here, so the MailerLite sign up form, and you can pick the form that we want. So you can have many forms, and that's already saved. So if we refresh, it's like such. So this one, using the plugin, matches the site a little bit more. This is my development site. I'm using the 2019 theme. I've customized the color, so this is giving the same fonts and sizes and colors as we see in the theme. So not sure which you like better, but either way, pick the sign up form that you want, put it on the site where you want to, and then when people sign up, they will automatically get the first email, and you'll be able to see that in MailerLite. You can check the reports of who's opening and when and who's in the middle of the process, and so on and so forth. So that is how to set up an automated email sequence in MailerLite and how to add a sign-up form to your website. If you have any questions, let me know. You can find me on Twitter and also on my website, reneemzw.com. And if you go to the contact page, you can fill out the form and that will get to me. Good luck and talk to you soon.